All right, happy time zone. It is me, Ivory. I hope everybody is having a good one. We are here at Books and Brunch. Oh, press some buttons. Okay, so yes, we are here. It's Books and Brunch, and we're here to talk about the books that we read in December. Spoiler alert, December was my month of DNFs. So let me see here. Oh yes, as I said, yeah. So December was my month of just not finishing books, and that's okay. That's okay because sometimes you just don't finish a book, and you should not be punished for that. I had a lot going on in December too. So I have a lot of books that I'm like halfway done reading. But we'll talk about that. I do have Shalyn here with me today. I'm in a Discord call. We're in World, so if anybody wants to come through, if you're in the Discord, you can feel free to pop on in at the barn for books and brunch. But yeah, so again, my name's Ivor. This is my gameplay diary, the live edition. This is my sister Shalyn on the couch here, looking gorgeous. And Books and Brunch is a monthly book club. We started this about, we did one full year. One full year. Hey, Shalyn. One full year. And then, yeah. Okay, so it started like in September. So it wasn't a full year. So about a year and a half. So yeah, we're about a year and a half strong. Shalyn, how was your December reading month? Oh, that's exciting. You got to put that in Discord so I can add that to my TBR list. There was one book, yeah, that I did finish in December, and y'all know how I feel about horse girl life. So this was a Black Western romance. It is called Forbidden, and it's a book series because it's by Beverly Jenkins, and I love a good series. I love seeing what happens next. It also stops me from reading fan fiction, which can sometimes be brain rot. So yeah, this book was a Black Western romance. At first, I was taken aback because it appears to be no shade, no shade, no shade, no shade. Because of the time period, post slavery, it appeared to be an interracial couple. And I thought that this was going to be my white savior, like post slavery book. And I was just, yeah. So you see where I'm coming from. I was like, oh, hell no. But it turns out that the guy was passing, right? So it starts out with the main character, Eddie, and she wants to leave her home, believe Denver, Colorado, because ain't no opportunities out there for her. And she got robbed. They took all her money. She was trying to get to California, so she asked her sister because her sister was partitioning out the poom poom back then to pay the bills. And the sister was like, why are you asking me? So she goes through all of these trials and tribulations. And you know how it was back then. Like, can I travel with you? They didn't have trains. They didn't have like, you know, accessible transportation. So some nice people help her get to part of her destination. But there was this one guy who was posing as the guy of the story, Ryan, saves her and he takes her to his town and he has this saloon and the saloon, the white people don't go there because he allows black people to go there. And I was like, peculiar. So as the story goes on, you learn that he, during this time, was like, passing and he was kind of torn I like that the story isn't like a black tragedy book. It's kind of like factual, and it doesn't. What's the word I'm looking for? It does not um, romanticize like black struggle. It doesn't. It doesn't do it like that. It just keeps it very factual. There were some political things going on in there, but the main focus of the book is the love story. So he takes her in, and at first, she was worried that the townspeople would say, "Oh my gosh, she's at the saloon." Da 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 da. So she follows her dream. She becomes a cook. She falls in love with him. He's engaged, but it turns out that his fiance very racist, very anti-black. So when he started hanging out with the female main character, he was like, "Ooh, why are you saying anti-black stuff about her?" So he was like, "Actually, I don't want to marry you, because you know how that is. People pass, and then that next generation, it's like, now whose baby is that? Because where these genetics come from, right?" So he was like, "You're anti-black. I can't marry you." So once he breaks off his engagement, that's when the love between them really starts. And I'm really shocked that I like this, because this was one book that I was also going to DNF, like Wicked, and we could probably talk about that in a minute. Ooh, child. But yeah. So I feel like if you like Western novels and you do not like oh yes, master, free me, fall in love, like I get really particular, and I think we talked about this when we read the Verity, or I think, was it called Verity? I Yeah, I don't like. I don't like the, or was it Aphrodite? Aphrodite, yeah, I don't like the post-slavery, black struggle, white savior books, but this had a lot of layers to it, because it added, her trying to make something of herself, and she wasn't following what people thought a traditional woman would be in that time period. She was trying to start her own business. She wasn't trying to, you know, do whatever else. Like, she was trying to make something of herself, and it was a realistic depiction of what that was like. And then you had the complexity of a man trying to pass during this time period, and him, saying, actually, I love this woman and I love where I come from. And he just, gives that all up for her. So that's the one book I did read. But can we talk about Wicked? Oh, no, go ahead, go back, because like I said, I want to read. Oh,
Much into the backstory. Yeah, yeah.
I just
So, and
realized they could not hear you, and that is my fault.
oh
Did you
no,
wanna, yeah, did you wanna go start over? I'm sorry, Shalyn.
yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, you're fine. You're fine. Can I mean, were we good now? I can
Yes,
tell
we're
you. I can
good.
start over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm talking about the book that I read for January. Was called Daisy Darker, and it was by It's by Alice Feeney. Phenomenal mystery. If you're into that type of thing, I highly recommend. So basically, what's happening? The story is about Daisy Darker. She is the most melancholy, unfortunate individual that you can ever imagine. She has a lot of ailments. She is really just going through it, and she feels like her family hates her. And so now the crux of the story is that she has to go spend an evening with said family for her grandmother's birthday. Now, while it already is a lot for her to be with her family, she's also going to be stranded on this island that is surrounded by water for this full evening with her family. And the thing that happens is that amongst the turmoil of all of this family drama, all these mysteries and stories and secrets that come out, the family starts dropping dead one by one. Daisy Darker is trying to figure out who is killing her family and what is going on. And story. Now, I love me a good red herring when it comes to like mysteries and stuff like that. This got several of them, and then the actual twist, baby. I was shooketh. I was shooketh, and my flabbers were gasted. It's such a good book, and I did not see it coming. I did not see the turn it took, and I highly recommend it to anybody who's interested in any type of mystery. And it's good. It's good.
Okay, I can't wait
I
to
was very
read
pleased.
that.
Yes,
I
I was very pleased.
Yeah, because I want to read more like mystery and like I too love a good red herring, so
Yes.
definitely, yeah. I'm glad that you read something with a lot of twists and turns. I've been stuck in a romance rut. I don't know what it is, but like I literally cannot put romance books down. Even though last month, like I didn't finish a lot because I decided to make a YouTube video every
Hmm.
day.
Which was admirable in itself, baby. That was a task and a half. You did that. You did
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. But, there are a lot of books that I DNF'd, rightfully so. And I'm not going to touch too much on the negative unless it pertains to the
Hmm.
book Wicked, because
Yeah.
I thought that I was going to be in love with that book.
Me too. Me too. I haven't picked it back up since the last time we talked about it. I thought I was gonna be. You know what? I'm a preface it by saying this. I had read reviews saying, her reviews saying it was nothing like the movie. Don't expect anything like the movie. That's not what it is. But for it to be the complete opposite, I wasn't prepared for. And it's been kind of a struggle to get back into it, only because it is so random and I don't know what to make of it. I feel like I need to be on some type of hallucinogen or something to actually enjoy it properly. But since I'm not, baby, I'm on the struggle bus with it.
I see why the book is not as popular as the Broadway show,
Hmm.
because
Yes.
I think let me see. I have 15 hours and 3 minutes left in this book. Like there was no, like
Hmm.
every time I would pick it
Hmm.
up, I would let it play for like 10 minutes and I'd be like there's no fucking way. I got to turn like
Yeah.
I there's no
Yeah.
way. There's no way.
Yeah.
Because like once it started getting to like Alphaba having like shark teeth and she's biting off
Yeah.
fingers, maybe she'll bite off a nipple, and like
Yeah.
the mom, was she abused by goblins? I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell are we
What?
talking about? Like,
What is
what are we?
happening?
Like, okay, so I don't feel like as bad because I was like,
No.
oh, Shala might have notes
No.
on this, and I DNF'd
No.
it.
No, where they kept referring to try to figure out if she was what sex she was, and the green part. The green didn't even seem to be the biggest issue. I feel like there was a lot more that we had to contend with before we even discussed Alphaba being green. It was a lot. The backstory, the undertones of strange religions, the racism. Like I couldn't quite wrap my mind around it and make it make sense. And so I tried to, separate it from the actual Broadway play. Like, okay, it's not the same. It's nothing like it. Don't even think about it. But to even get into the mindset where I can actually get immersed in the world, it was hard. It was very hard. And I keep saying I'm going to chug through it because I want to read it. I want to say I completed it, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a
I,
no
I
for
don't
me,
I don't
dog.
know.
It's a no. Like I think when people were like, "Oh, Wicked is going to be more similar to the book," I was like, "Oh, the book is going to be amazing." Also, Mimi baby, hello, welcome, happy time zone. Um, but yeah, I was excited, and then I started reading the book, and it definitely touches a bit more on uh racism in different ways outside of Alphabet. Like you
Hmm.
said, I didn't even get to the
Hmm.
part about her being green, but like just the townspeople, the prejudice, like the
Hmm.
religion, like it was just so
Yeah,
complex in a way that it wasn't enjoyable.
a
And
lot,
I don't
a
think the
lot.
I don't think the book aged well. I thought, what is his name? Let me look at my Audible. Gregory Maguire. I think he probably
Hmm.
took a lot of acid, sat down, and wrote a
Yeah.
book, and it's not good. And I feel bad because I love Wicked. Like I told you,
Hmm.
like I never saw it on Broadway, but I've seen like a smaller production, and then I've seen like don't come for me DMCA laws, but I've seen a link of a Broadway show. They're all wiped off the internet, by the way. If you want to
Yes.
see it, you cannot
Yep.
find a Broadway
Gone.
link.
Gone.
But Wicked is the book is not it, and I don't know if
Hmm.
it's I don't know if you did the Audible version
I
or like
did.
Kindle. I think that this might be something that I have to read like on Kindle or read physically because the
Mhm.
narrator is insufferable.
You know, and see, I'm usually the opposite when it comes to the Audible books. Usually, I'm pretty forgiving when it comes to a narrator making a break in a story for me. Like, I could still get into it. I could still, separate from what I'm listening to because I don't necessarily have to have it in my voice all the time. So I've gotten accustomed to listening to different audible books. So that's not even the part for me. It is more so the content. Like, I mean, the
Mm.
narrator, not the greatest. I'm not gonna hold you, not the greatest, but it's the content, and it's just like it's almost. I mean, confusing. That's the only way I could really put it because it's like I feel like you said. Yeah, I feel like the author is definitely on something. That's why I feel like I need to be on something to consume it because the way that it's almost broken down. So I get it. They're trying to introduce a world and its people in this very small amount of time because the intro isn't even the main story. It's just getting to know the people, the settings, what's going on, the climate, that part. So for me to have a difficult time keeping up with the different layers that they're throwing and the different characters they're introducing and the different plots that all of these characters are experiencing, it's hard to like pick it up, get into it to even want to know more. So like you said, you're 14 hours still to go and you're just like, I'm done. I'm over. I can't. So what, an hour in, I was overwhelmed and it's who said that? What's going on? What's happening? I had to rewind it several times just to understand who was these new characters that were being introduced and why were they there. So I completely understand that. So I mean, maybe reading it physically might be beneficial just because you can go back and say, okay, such and such said this, and you create that voice for that character. So in your mind, you can differentiate what's happening with that character because the audible situation,
Baby. Mm-mm.
it was grasping for straws. This is little biting straws. No, I don't know.
Yeah, like it was rough, and I think because for a book that is so whimsical, just so
Hmm.
uncanny, the narrator's voice was borderline, like it was very close to being monotone.
Yeah, yeah.
And it just, oh my gosh. AJ, why are you side eyeing me? Happy time zone. Hello. But yeah, like the narrator's voice was like just it was too monotone for the content.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that like again, my imagination, I think I'd be better reading this. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna buy it. I'm gonna see if it's free on
Hmm.
Kindle. I'm not, or I'll go to the library. I'm not purchasing this
Right,
book. But
right.
I think for me, like what solidified that this book isn't for me, and perhaps it's just best to love it as a Broadway show, was when they
Mm,
were trying to unalive
yeah,
the a stranger's baby. Like,
yeah, yeah.
huh?
Because because essentially they were different. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because I
like,
mean,
oh,
mind
stop.
you, there's magic all around them. So it's not that they were magical. It's not that they were just that different. It was just literally almost like the color of their skin, and of course, a little bit more misunderstood, and a little more, fighty than than others. But yeah,
Yeah, I was
sorry to
like,
cut you off.
oh no, you're good. It was just weird. AJ, not us listening to a book. I feel like so many people in this world listen to Audible, especially like I like to listen to Audible when I'm at work.
Mm-hmm.
But I also
Yeah.
read physical books now. I have a big physical collection. It was small first, but I'm an avid Kindle reader. I'm actually going to get a Kindle for myself, but that's a whole other topic for another day. But we were reading Wicked by Gregory Maguire. what
Yes.
the Broadway show and movies based off, and we both like I didn't even know that Shallon DNF'd it, so we just both like
I'm
didn't finish.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really try. I'm gonna really try to finish it. Only because I felt like for so long I said I wanted to read Wicked. And then the movie, the most current movie sparked a new interest in me. So I said, oh, I want to read it. I just want to read it now. We're going to talk about this later, but it's a lot of different books that I want to either revisit that are older series that I want to get into. But yeah, Wicked was one of those I was like, oh, I want to read this so bad. I don't know why I never did. Um, which I mean, I'm kind of glad I didn't when I was younger. When I
Mm,
was, when Wicked first came to Broadway, that's when, it really came onto the scene. I'm glad I didn't. But that's why I really want to read it and I really want to finish it. And yeah, an Audible, that's just the easiest way for me to enjoy a book right now, only because like during the workday, I listen and it helps my work shift go by faster. So I totally agree with the Audible review. I'm like, I love a physical book. I have physical books. I enjoy a physical book, but Audible, that's the way to go. So if I want to enjoy a good book while I work, that's what I'm gonna do.
yeah. Well, AJ, I know like some people are just like more into physical reading, but I think like you know I'm fine with audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
I think when we started Books and Brunch, we talked about the Shallon. I was really not big on audiobooks like that
Right. Right.
until I was like, okay, let me just try it. And I used to be a big Persephone Happy Time Zone. Welcome on in. We're having Books and Brunch. If anybody in the
Hey.
chat, yeah, if anybody wants to like pop in, talk about some books that you read, feel free to, because we're gonna pick a book for January to discuss in February. But yeah, I used to be an avid podcast listener, and I do not listen to podcasts anymore because not to put on my tinfoil hat, but I feel like a lot of podcasts, like the quality of like the content, like what they're talking about, is just
Mm-hmm.
so like it's not anything that I want to consume. So
Right.
I was like, oh, it's kind of just like, listening to podcasts how I used to at work. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love audiobooks now. And this just became a thing not too long ago for me. So try it. Don't knock it till you try it. I will say that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. But like I said, oh, you've been reading dark romances, Persephone? I do love a good dark
Ooh.
romance.
Ooh. Brood over me.
Yeah, there are some dark romances that I'm like, no. That like this, mm-mm, DNF.
Mhm.
But there are some where I'm like, oh my God, somebody do that to me next.
Yes,
Like,
yes, yes.
me
Chase me,
next. Yeah.
brood over me.
Yes.
And then
Um,
don't add a enemies to lovers trope inside of it. Oh, oh, hate to
yes.
love you. Scare
Right.
me a little bit. Only in the books. Only in the books.
Yeah, no, because like if you try the things that they do in the books, like in real life, I will call the police.
Yes,
Like
I will.
a
I
restraining order will be
yes,
solidified by close of
yes,
business. Do not play with me.
yes. 911
Um,
on speed dial. Yes.
yeah, I also read something. I read a book series, The Vampire King. I told you guys about it. I was reading it in like
Mm.
October, November, but I finished the other two books in the series. That's kind of like fantasy meets dark romance
Okay.
and fated partner, like what do they call it, fated mates.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's
Dated
so
mates. Yep.
good. It gets a little bit
Mm.
freaky towards the
Ooh,
end.
spicy. I
I
like
don't even know if
spicy.
I could say it on YouTube, but it gets a little bit like borderline Games of Thrones weird. But I
Oh.
was just like, you know what? This is not indicative of who I am and what I'm into, and I just kept reading it, and it's a pretty good story.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Persephone said you read a dark romance retelling of Persephone and Hades. Ooh, see,
Ooh.
I am starting to like. I want to branch out and read more mythology retellings, like whether it's Greek mythology or, um, they have a lot of retellings now of the Orishas from West African mythology, and there's been some pretty good ones popping up. So let us know the book
That's
title.
exciting.
Yeah,
Please, please,
but
please.
yeah. So I think this month I have a book suggestion. And again, Books and Brunch, if you're in the Discord, make sure that you can see all of the channels because I think sometimes the channels don't auto show. But we have the Books and Brunch Discord channel. And this month, it's me and Shalyn here. So I think we could just flip a coin and see who's going to have the pick of the month. So I can share the pick that I have. Unless you have yours ready, Shalyn, I actually have to go pull mine back up. I don't know where I
Oh yeah,
just
go
put
for
them.
it. Yeah. I have mine pulled up. It's another I have two that could be potentials, but I have a mystery, another mystery. I have one by it's by Jason Ricolak. It's the last one at the wedding. It's another one from my wish list, so that's the only reason I'm being a little selfish about it.
Okay.
And then I had another option as well that's a little bit more generalized and could be for anybody. Um, it was Rootless by Crystal Zara Apaya, Appih. I think that's might be how to pronounce it, but I could be wrong. But yeah, and I could read the description of both because I have it pulled up.
Yes, please.
Okay, sure. So let me go back to the last one at the wedding. Okay, so the summary is let's see. Frank Sadowski is shocked when his daughter Maggie calls him for the first time in 3 years. He was convinced their estrangement will become permanent. He's even more surprised when she invites him to her upcoming wedding in New Hampshire. Frank is ecstatic and determined to finally make things right. He arrives to find that the wedding is at a private estate, very secluded, very luxurious, very much out of his league. It seems that Maggie failed to mention that she's marrying Eden Gardner, the son of a famous tech billionaire. Feeling desperately out of place, Frank focuses on reconnecting with Maggie and getting to know her new family. But it's difficult. Aiden is withdrawn and evasive. Maggie doesn't seem to have time for him, and he finds that the locals are disturbingly hostile to the Gardners. Frank needs to know more about the family his daughter is marrying into. But if he pushes too hard, he could lose Maggie forever. An edge of your seat thriller that delves deep into the heart of one family. The Last One at the Wedding is a work of brilliant suspense from a true modern master. So that was that one. And then let's see. Rootless, the description of that one. Let me go back. So it reads, and this is all from Audible. So let's see. So Rootless premise is on a spring afternoon in London. Sam races up the stairs of his flat two at a time. There is £1,300 missing from his bank account he shares with his wife Effie, and his calls are going straight to voicemail. When he finally reaches someone, he learns that Effie is over 4,000 miles away. As their toddler looks around and asks, "Where's mommy?" When Effie and Sam met as teens headed for university, it seemed that everyone knew they were meant to be. Effie, newly arrived in the UK from Ghana and sinking under the weight of her parents' expectations, found comfort in the focused and idealistic Sam. He was stable, working toward a law career, and had an unwavering vision for their future. A vision Effie, now a decade later, finds insufferable. From the outside, they're the picture perfect couple everyone imagined, but there are cracks in the frame. Faced with a life altering decision, Effie and Sam find themselves on opposing sides, focused to confront just how radically different they want their lives to be. Then one day, Effie disappears. Rootless is a heart rendering story about sacrifice, family, and ambition, providing an intimate look at what happens when the marriage collapses and if it can still be saved.
I'm not gonna lie, they both sound very, very good. Like very, very good.
Both on my wish list. Ruthless was Instagram book recommended. So that's where I got. I think maybe Last Month the Wedding was too at some point. But yeah, those how they both ended up on our wish list. So either way, we could flip a coin. You could choose. Somebody else could choose. Somebody else could throw something else in the hat. In Discord, I'm open. We can. I will never turn down a book, no matter where it comes from. So
Let me
those
check.
are just my reps.
I don't see any suggestions in Discord. I do have my book rec. Um,
Okay.
I saw this when I was at the store, and I was like,
Hmm.
And me now, I kind of just look books up before I purchase them. So this is called The Brer Club by Kate Quinn, and this is a mystery. And I'll just read a bit of the summary. It goes, Washington, D.C., 1950. Everyone keeps to themselves at Brerewood House, a down at the hills all female boarding house in the heart of the nation's capital where secrets hide behind white picket fences. But when the lovely, mysterious widow, Grace March, moves into the attic room, she draws her oddball collection of neighbors into unlikely friendships. Poised English beauty Fliss, whose facade of perfect wife and mother covers gaping inner wounds, policeman's daughter Nora, who finds herself entangled with a shadowy gangster, frustrated baseball star Beatrice, whose career has come to an end along with the Women's Baseball League, and poisonous gung ho Arlene, Gung Ho. Why did I? Anyway, why did I actually just call her out her name by accident? Gung Ho
No, no.
Arlene, who has thrown herself into McCarthy's Red Scare. Grace's weekly attic room dinner parties and window brewed sun tea become a healing balm on all their lives. But she hides a terrible secret of her own. When a shocking act of violence tears the house apart, the Brer Club women must decide once and for all who is the true enemy in their minds, capturing the paranoia of the McCarthy era and invoking the changing roles of women in post war America. The Bear Club is an intimate and thrilling novel of secrets and loyalty put to the test. And I just thought that this was just so interesting because, yeah, I
Ooh.
genuinely just love like a girl group that are just unapologetic, and like then there's mystery, and then there's like, tension and drama. Like I love stories like that. So
Mm.
yeah, well, heads or tails, Shaolin? I think we could flip a coin.
Okay. I'm gonna say tails.
Tails. Okay, 1 second. Let me pull up. Da-da-da-da-da. Coin flip. Let me flip again. You said tails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, Shaolin, you pick one of our books for January, and we will discuss this on. We'll discuss the book on February 2nd. That's the first Sunday.
Okay. So I'm gonna flip a coin between these two books to see which one to win.
All
Maybe
right.
you got a coin already in your hand. You want to flip between the two?
Yes. Which one is heads?
We'll say heads will be rootless.
Ruthless. Okay. In three, two, one, flip. And it's tails.
All right. So the last guest at the wedding. Yep, the last one at the wedding. I'm sorry, the last one at the wedding
The
will be the
last
book
one at the wedding.
at the
Okay.
wedding. Yep, and I'll put that in Discord as well.
I'm excited.
Me too. I was gonna say I was a little biased, so both of them was on my wish list. So either way, I could
Listen,
not go wrong.
I'm happy to read anything with the exception of Wicked. Like I just no, like no. But yeah, I think that I wanted to get a temperature check, but I think that it's mostly you and I that been coming through. So I wanted to see if you wanted to meet like once a month, or I know we used to do it like twice a month, and I just wanted to get a temperature check and see how often we wanted to meet 2025.
Yeah, I'm still down for the one. Well, yeah, for the once a month. Only because I would say twice. Like it doesn't make me any difference, but I would like for people to maybe get a little bit more involved and maybe not feel like. I mean, I know we're not intimidating by any means, but
Hmm.
just to let people know, hey, it's very relaxed. It's more so just to get people, social, and also to just get people reading. So, I mean, whether you pick the book up, it's wonderful. You can join in the conversation, or you can tell us about the book that you're reading. It's very give and take. And I feel like I don't want to speak, put words in your mouth as well, but I just know just the type of vibe that we have. It's more so just for us to hear about different books that maybe we didn't think to read or, maybe haven't heard of, and just get an opportunity to find out about new pieces to read and enjoy. So it's very chill, very relaxed. I think the once a month is good, but I mean, if we ever saw a need for the twice, we could. I mean, just so we could read more.
Right.
But I say the 1 month, once a month is good. Only because sometimes, and I can't speak for everyone, but I know even in a month's time, I may read more than the one selection. So if I got something else to add about another book I'm reading, plus one we're talking about, the more the merrier. That's how I look at it. But, that's just how I'm feeling.
No, I agree. I think the once a month is fine. I also think this time of the day might be better because, Sundays, uh, like 3 hours earlier from now, I think no matter what your time zone is, most people are like, just getting back from running errands or, whatever their worship service is. So I think maybe this time of the day might be ideal. Also, yeah, I agree. Like this book club is intended to be very lighthearted. We're not looking for any high level analysis of the book. If that's how far you want to go with it, that's fine. But, it's just more so us trying to, me personally, read more and then just encourage other people to read more. Uh, don't feel intimidated. We're not asking you to read. Um, anything like too out there, any like 2 million page book. Like it's very it's very like comfy, cozy. You can read if you want to read an audio or listen to an audiobook, if you want to read a physical book, if you want to read a Kindle version. Like it's, very go at your own pace. And I think that the once a month will help us continue to just, read at our own pace as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, it's January, so I guess before we close out, I do want to see if anybody has like any reading goals for this
Mhm.
year. What about you, Shalyn?
Yes, it is so funny. Goodreads. I don't know if anybody's familiar with. I know you are, Ivory.
Hmm.
But they make it very easy to like set reading goals, and I didn't even think too much about it. Like it's not something I ever put into really too much thought. But just joining Goodreads because I wanted to subscribe to some of the the giveaway. But
I have not
that's
won
really
a
what I did.
giveaway yet at all. It's sad.
Me neither. And when I say I think I've signed up about 60,000 books, but it's here or there. But Goodreads made it so where last year I had a book goal of reading 10 books. And so I ended up reading 15. And so
Oh,
I
cool.
didn't, yeah, and I didn't even really know it was going to be like a personal goal. But I like that. And I mean, who doesn't want like a little boost of serotonin every now and again, just to sign up and say, oh, I'm going to read this book, now reading finished. And then you can write my little review, like somebody care what I got to say. And then I'd be like, I did that. And so it helped me do my little countdown. So I'm gonna reach again for 10. And so anything after that, I'm just gonna, say that's icing on the cake. But I'm gonna aim for 10.
And I am glad to support you along the way. I think 10 is a
Yes.
very good goal, especially with like holidays, birthdays,
Mm-hmm.
travel.
Yep.
Um, did you hear about that girl that read like 100 and something books last year? Or it might have been way more than that. But anyway, they were like attacking her on Twitter, which was so bizarre because why are you?
Why?
Because they were basically saying like you're doing all this reading, like you're corny. What else are you doing with your life? Boo, whatever. But I think
You
that
know.
like if reading is their hobby, like maybe they're not into TV, they don't play
Mm-hmm.
games, they don't, go to the club. Like if they're reading,
Mm-hmm.
why does that make you angry? Hello?
Right. Right. I would dare not yuck somebody's yum. That's like me saying, "Oh, all you do is watch TV. You don't want to do nothing else." Listen,
Oop.
first and foremost, all I can say is that life is hard enough. When you find something that gives you joy, that drives you to be, better. That's the only other word I can think of, or just in general, just makes you happy. Do it. It ain't hurt nobody else. Do it. Like, okay, so she want to read, like she writing book reports. You want to use her imagination. What's it to you? What's it to you? Like, how is her joy bothering anybody else? Like, that is so. Hmm, what's the word I want to use for them? That's real. That's real poo butt to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all, look, y'all some losers. Like, she want to read, let her read. You want to do something else, you go and enjoy what you want to do. But no, I feel like that's terrible. Especially, I feel like as we get older, our imaginations dwindle, and a lot of times, depending on what you're into, you don't really use it anymore. And I feel like a lot of children are happy because they use their imaginations. We can't go back to that innocent childlike time where we don't have bills and we don't have to do anything but wake up and go have a good time. I feel like anything that takes you back to that time, I say do it. I'm all support of it. I don't know why she want to read. It don't even matter. She ain't even have no reason. She want to read. Let her read.
Right. And maybe she is a quick reader. Like what? I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. I think that like if you are an adult, mature person, regardless if you're, 18, 25, 30, 40, whatever, I think that it is always a bad look on you if you put people down for what brings them joy, especially if it's not hurting anyone. Like, I could see if the girl was saying, I get joy from walking around slashing people's tires. No, like, she's reading a book. Why is that
Hey.
so bad? Like, I don't know. Like lately, I've been growing a strong disdain for people who just yuck somebody's yum. Like, okay, she's reading books. Who cares? Like, are you insecure about your reading level? Like, is it because you're on a second grade reading level that
Right.
you're like jealous? Like, no, no shade, no shade. But like,
No
is
shade.
that the
All shade.
problem? Like, because
Mm-hmm.
you don't have her ability to read and retain what she like. Come on now. So,
Right.
and I've even experienced that, from my loved ones. I'll be like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
reading, or oh, I have my book club with some friends, and they're like, book
Mm-hmm.
club, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to join one locally. Book club. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just, I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
that's something that I've always experienced. Like before I
Mm-hmm.
say my book goals, I was at Target with Mama Snow,
Mm-hmm.
and she there's this little girl in the shopping cart, and she was reading a book to her mom, and she had to be about like between 5 to 7 years old. I was like, oh, she reminds me of me. Read it to her mom. The mom just not even paying attention, but she just read it. And my mom was like, yes, you used to do that all the time, reading all the
Mm-hmm.
time. And she said it like I was like snorting drugs, and I'm like, what? I think more so because I did cost her a lot of library fines growing up, but that's
Yeah.
beside the point. That's
Yes.
beside the point.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I don't know what
Yes.
it is, but I just think that reading is a beautiful hobby, and there's nothing wrong with like getting out there and reading.
No.
My personal reading goal is I've been doing a lot of audiobooks, so I'm not, and I listen to them at work. I'm not worried about meeting like that one book a month goal that I try to
Mm-hmm.
maintain. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but what I do want to do is because I haven't been reading physical books as much and I want to build up my
Hard.
physical collection, I want to read outside of, Kindle books and audiobooks. I want to read 6 physical books
Mm-hmm.
this coming year. Everything else is just going to be like a bonus. But yeah, that's my goal, 6 physical books.
Very good. Very good. I think I might jump on that one as far as I might look into getting a Kindle or something, only because just right now in the space that I'm in, physically having like a bookshelf or anything else like that might be difficult. Just trying to find a space for a bunch of physical books. So I think what I'll do is just so I have something physically being held in my hand. I think I might go that route. Or, if I'm feeling real extravagant, I might get that little clicker, get the little stand that I could prop up on the bed stand on the headboard, and then give me a little clicker so it changes. I
Yeah, you don't
don't have
even
to
gotta
touch
move.
it.
No, you can just
I ain't
lay
even gotta
there
move.
in a cocoon.
And it looks
Also,
cool.
don't sleep on like the library as well. Like if you just want to read something
Yes,
physical.
yes, yes, yes. And I do actually have a library that's pretty nearby. And I said I was going to go ahead and get a library card just because I'm in a different state. So I wanted to go ahead and get another library card. But yes, I will definitely be utilizing my local library because she is close and she is available.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for Books and
Mm,
Brunch 2025.
very much so.
I think I think we covered everything today. So we
Mm.
are reading again. What's the name of the book?
Oh, yes. Let me pull it back up. Let me go back. It is called The Last One at the Wedding, and that is a novel by Jason Rekulak, Rekeulak. Jason J. So,
Excited. So yeah, we will have another
me
Books
too.
and Brunch February 2nd, first Sunday of the month at my I guess going forward normal stream time, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Central Time, 9:30 EST, and 6:30 Pacific. I think I got all those right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
can I
that
just throw something out there too?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, in Discord, if anybody wants to join in, throwing out any of their current book, current reads, something they want to read, just still share. You know what I mean? Like this is what it's all about. Even if you're not necessarily interested in reading the current selection, which we would love you to do, but just in case, even if you're not, just throw it in Discord what you're reading. 'Cause we still would love to hear different recommendations. Just kind of get a glimpse into, some different types of entertainment, like share, please share. Don't be scared. We won't bite. Never mind. That's it.
I agree. I agree. No, yeah, like even if you do not like the book, even if you don't finish the book, if you're reading a series and you don't want to read anything different, feel free to come because again, this is just more to talk about books and just share what you've been reading. Discord is always open. Uh, throw out whatever you're reading. I have some things that I'm currently reading that um, I'll probably just overpost in Discord, but don't be shy. We are a cozy community. We are a more intimate sized community, but there's no judgment. So if you're reading horror, thriller, romance, I do ask though that if you're reading something that's like super graphic, like it's okay to talk about it, but I don't think any of us want to open Discord and we read and on
Oh,
page
yeah.
6 she was beheaded. Huh?
Yeah.
No. Like, just be mindful of the
Right.
rules, like read
Right.
anything. I've even shared, my romance novels that I read. I may
Hmm.
share the book, I don't share the context, I just tell y'all it's
Right.
real freaky, just be
Right.
warned. But yeah, just
Right.
just be mindful. Or if you have a spoiler, you can do the spoiler tag in Discord. But yeah, definitely never be shy to like share anything, whether it's Books and Brunch or what channels do we have in Discord? Books and Brunch, self care, animes, dramas, the Vent channel, food, venting about being BIPOC, LGBTQIA plus, arts and crafts, beauty, your games, whatever. Just don't feel like what's the word? Don't be shy to say hi. Like we're
Mm.
always welcoming.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a cozy place, safe place, like I say, it's like definitely like it's all about, finding a nice little section of this board to just be your authentic, fabulous self. So by all means, share, what you're reading, share what you're listening to. I personally would love to see some different recommendations, things that I didn't think of. I'm all for it. So please speak up, say hi. We'll say hi back, I promise.
Right, right. I agree. Yeah, other than that, do I have any announcements before I go? Um, Do I want to mention that right now? I mean, yeah. So, you guys know I've been streaming roleplay on the burner account, my Twitch burner account. I think some people know, everybody doesn't know, but one of my friends asked me, "What is the purpose of a?" Let me add more context. So I said that I did not want to stream roleplay anymore on my main Twitch account, but then I'm not even streaming on Twitch. So the question was, what is the purpose of a roleplay burner account if you don't even stream on Twitch and you're streaming it on YouTube? So I don't know. And I don't like when I'm wrong. I don't like when other people have more insight than what I'm doing than I do. But I'm just considering if I am role playing, possibly using that, especially if I'm not utilizing Twitch. There's not going to be any schedule. There's not going to be any set time. There's not going to be anything. Just if you catch it, you catch it. I don't really spend that much time in role play like I used to. What do you think about that, Shala? I'm not gonna lie, they kind of clocked me there because what is the purpose of a role play burner if you don't use the actual Twitch account anymore?
I'm here to tell you. I'm just saying, like, I've never really believed in burner phones unless you were selling something illegal, or doing something you had no business doing. And I feel like what you're doing should be seen. I'm
You're
just saying.
right.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. I'm not. Who am I? I'm just me.
No, you're right. You're right. Everybody is right. I think for me, I think I talked to you about this before. I just got tired of being metagame, but like now
Yeah.
I'm playing characters that just like don't even fucking matter. So yeah,
Mhm.
that might be an adjustment going forward, and I think that's what this is all about. If anybody is out there with Shallon, I saw your video. I was typing a comment. Phone died, but I love that video so much. It was so good.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you. One of my goals for the new year was just going to get into making like short form content. Now that doesn't necessarily have to be, like real videos or anything else like that, but the actual idea of, recording something, editing it, making it something magical or whatever else like that, that really interests me. And so I said I was going to challenge myself to just get out of my comfort zone a little bit and just do something a little bit different. And so one of my toxic traits is that I will think about something for so long that it takes me longer to think about it and actually do it. So I said I was going to try to eliminate that one thing at a time, and it just so happens to be now short form content.
I'm
So
happy because it was so
yeah,
good. I can't wait to see what you
yeah,
do next. But yeah,
yeah.
I just think that creating content is always a revolving door of learning. And I was like, you know
Mm-hmm,
what?
mm-hmm,
I talked a lot of junk about Twitch. I genuinely still feel the same, but I feel like, yeah, I mean, if I built a big follow well, it's not a big following. If I built a decent following over there for people that love to see me role play and I'm streaming it to a burner and all I'm streaming to Twitch is role play, I think I might as well utilize it. But again, I don't have a set schedule for role play. Your girl's getting up there. When I first started creating content, I was in the early mid 20s. I am now in my early 30s. So I really don't enjoy sitting at the PC for like hours doing role play on and off. Like that's no, like once I get up to take that break to like eat and walk the dogs, I do not ever feel like coming back to RP. Like once I'm done, that's it. Once the storm rolls out, that's it.
mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you already follow me on Twitch, just you'll see me doing it there sometimes. Please don't feel inclined to uh support the Twitch channel. You don't have to sub, you don't have to donate, you don't have to do anything. I love role playing and I love sharing it with you guys and you guys enjoy watching it. So yeah, like I said, I think I might have to renege on that, and that's life sometimes. Sometimes you're wrong, and that's okay. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been accepting that for the past couple of months. Sometimes I am very wrong. Uh and that's I be telling y'all I got that A, that H, that D, that other, like I have them, and so sometimes I make very impulsive decisions, and I was like, yeah, no, not doing this no more. That was a wrong choice, and that's okay to accept it. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but other than that, I will see you guys this week because Infinity Nikki is life. It's everything. I love Infinity Nikki. There was a poll. Apparently, you guys want to see Infinity Nikki in the morning. So we'll see. We'll see. But
Yeah.
I'll make some adjustments. I think that I'm still figuring things out as far as like stream schedules go for YouTube because I'm not having one for Twitch. Absolutely not. Anyway, as far as like scheduling, like what time of the day people want to see stuff. I know you guys really love me streaming Second Life, especially in the evening time. So that might be like a couple days a week, Second Life, after work. And, if you guys like early morning Infinity Nikki streams, I know before when I used to stream, people enjoy watching while they're at work. So that could be something I could implement. But we'll see as time goes on. But those are all of the announcements I have for today. Be on the lookout for some other content on the vlog channel. I have 3 videos that I've been editing, so they'll be coming out soon. Other than that, thank you, Shalyn, my sister, for being here today. Always lovely to have you.
Thank you. Thank you. Always lovely to be here. Hello, hello, everyone. Kisses, kisses. Bye bye.
Yeah, check out Shalyn on Instagram.
Mm.
Yeah, True Rain
Yeah.
SL. Yes. And don't check me out on Instagram because, baby, I don't post on my real life account or the Second Life one. Just don't. It's nothing. It's flop. Check me out on Twitter, though, I guess. But other than that, thank you guys so much for your time. I love you all. Stay hydrated. Be kind to yourself. And I will catch you guys tomorrow for some Infinity Nikki. Bye. And I think we're off. Are we offline? Woohoo! Wait. Yes, we are. Woohoo!
Yeah.
That was fun.
I just want people to join in.